ice in the game like a free throw. I love when she talking the lingo. Wanna fuck on the freako. She says she bringing the Tito's. We hacking the game like a Chico. I'm a monster, it's time for the beast mode. Cracking your skulls like Debo. Straight to the strip, all singles. They peeping straight through the peephole. You a lame, you a dork, a bimbo. Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. We back. It's your boy Twan. Off Topic, episode 3. Today I got a special episode for you guys. I got two of my closest homeboys on the show today. I'd like to introduce my boy Josh. Say what's up.
What's good, y'all?
And I got my homeboy Olupero, my boy Pero, Olu.
Olu.
Easy to go. So thank you guys for coming out and saying what's up and hopping on the Off Topic podcast. So I say thank you. Thank you guys for coming. So to start off the podcast, I just want to, this week we just had the NBA Media Day. Well, before I begin, shout out Warriors. Y'all know what I'm.
Oh my God.
You already know what's going on. So you already know what's going on. I just want to talk about the Media Day. So that just happened this past weekend. So we kind of got a glance of what it looks like for each team and how the camera shoots about to look like for each team. So one of my takeaways I took from the Media Day was just listening to KD and just him explaining why he had some doubts about the Nets. So I'm kind of expecting to see some changes, but just to hear him open up a bit about the Media Day and share a piece of himself kind of gave me some insight into Kevin Durant and what the Nets are about to get into. But do you guys have any takeaways?
I think they'll be straight, probably better than last year if they can get their chemistry right. But the video I did see was about LeBron. Like the video where the reporter commented on his hair because he posted that thing about him being bald. So yeah, he's not bald, which is cool. But the thing that he said that he's looking for this season is like mostly availability. And I was like, that seems like a step down from what he's usually looking for, Not to say that he's not looking for a championship, but just the fact that he didn't say it. As far as I saw, I might not have listened to the whole thing, but he said that the highest priority, was availability. And I was like, oh snap, like you're still great, but the fact that your focus is now on that is kind of sticking out to me.
The KD situation, I kind of understood what he was saying. In the whole he just wasn't sure. And when you're even in just like a regular job, like when there's just like a level of uncertainty like there, you might just start looking elsewhere for something else. So I don't blame them. And they got swept. Come on.
By who? Say it. Who'd they get swept by?
They got swept by the team that lost in the finals. But
thank you very much.
I think the Nets will be better this year for sure, especially if Ben Simmons can play with confidence. Honestly, that team should be disgusting. With LeBron, with availability, I think it's more on the fact that, man, this is 20 years in the league. He's done it all. When he's talking about availability, he knows what it takes to make it to the finals. And he knows if the full team is there, there's no stopping. We're definitely beating any team. I mean, if we have a healthy AD, LeBron, Russ, especially even Patrick Beverly on that defense, and then the other people we just signed, come on, man. Yeah. Second seed.
You saw Dwayne Bacon just got added to that team?
Yeah, D-Bake. Shout out D-Bake.
Yeah.
I agree on both the points you guys stated out. This is your 20s, so there's a lot of pressure on that. For someone his age being at the level that he's at, there's going to be pressure on him to keep doing it, no matter the age that LeBron's going to be. So moving forward, I'm starting a new segment on my podcast. It's simple, for or against. I'm going to give Pero and Josh topics, and if they're for or against those topics. First thing to start off, are you guys for or against Jimmy Butler's new hairstyle? Be honest.
Absolutely not.
I'm surprised no one's mentioned the fact that looks like a jet. He looks like a Florida man. Can we appreciate that?
No.
Man, I'm just against the length. He did not have to go crazy like that. He could have added some. He did not have to go that's 12 years of someone getting dressed.
What he did first was worse than what he has now. What he had on Media Day was not as bad as what he came in with. You saw he had all this.
Yeah.
That was crazy. He looked like a fry cook.
I mean, dude, just give him some gold chains, some gold teeth. I mean, next topic. Are you guys for or against KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons chemistry going into this next season?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Honestly, I think it has the opportunity to be that Draymond, Steph, and Clay kind of team where you have Ben running technically the point, with Draymond running the point, and I mean, Draymond can't shoot, neither can Ben. So,
Yeah.
but he can rebound, he can assist, and he can play make very well. So, like, it takes away that pressure from KD to have to bring the ball down in ISO. And it allows them to put like a bigger man inside who can actually distribute the ball, right, and rebound. That team is still pretty stacked to surround like somebody like Ben Simmons who can play make outside. So I'm for it. I think it'll be better this year as long as the attitudes just mesh.
True.
This is why I'm against it. It's because of the attitudes, or let me say the inconsistencies, because I believe that all three of them are great players, all-star caliber. Two, if not three, are Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? So I just haven't seen Kyrie play over, what, 50 games in a long time, due to whatever circumstances it is, whether he's hurt or whether it's the mandate or whatever else. And then I also see a pattern of whatever team he goes to, they find themselves in some sort of turmoil. And I see so much attention outside of basketball on KD for like the way he reacts and responds to people and stuff like that. I think that just messes up locker room chemistry. I don't know. I think you had to put the game before the fame, and I don't see that core three doing enough of that to be able to win over 60 games. You know what I'm saying?
Next topic. Are you guys for or against a Warriors repeat?
I'm not for it. I don't think it'll happen because I just think from what we saw last year, I just don't think. I mean, you guys barely escaped. So it just to me it seems like unless for injuries, the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies could have taken that series to 7, made y'all a little bit more tired for the Celtics. And you know, I just see other teams being better. Jamal Murray coming back on the Nuggets. The Nuggets were really good. The Lakers, if they can pull it together, I think they have a shot as well. The Mavericks, I don't know. There's a lot of good teams there, and honestly, even the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans have a good chance of upsetting the Warriors if they go in the playoffs for 7 games. Because
That is so bold.
I mean, that's a strong take, but it's possible. But I'm against it. I think it's very hard for them to go back again and do it.
I'm gonna have to say I'm against, but for different reasons than Pero. You did bring up a good point, and I think that's the one I'll hold on to. Like with all the people coming back who are healthy again, you got to think like the Clippers have Kawhi, Paul George, and John Wall. You know what I'm saying? Remember the dance? So if they can find that chemistry, I think they're going to be pretty hard to beat. The Suns, I think, are going to give y'all problems, and I think the Grizzlies are not a better team than y'all, but they have y'all's number.
I would like to add on to this. The reason I would be for in this take, only because not just because like Warriors go Warriors, but more so the West is tough now. The West is tough now, and like, I'm not saying that this would be a chance that the Warriors can just kind of just make their way through to the finals. I think it just comes down to seeding for the Warriors. I mean, you can look at any championships back then and been like, well, if this team would have advanced or this team would have made it, or if there weren't injuries in this series, like that's all understandable. Like, you know, like, I mean, you can say that about every playoffs. You can say that. I think it's going to come down to who they're going to see. And it's the playoffs is matchups, and the matchups for the Warriors is always tough. It's always tough for us, for the Warriors themselves, because they got to play bigger guys, but that's a bigger mismatch too for the opposing teams when you just have these kind of players in the playoffs who just have all this experience. Are we for or against the new and improved Laker Nation? I would like to throw that one to Pero first, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah.
For me, I'm stoked. Like I said, Lakers are 2023 champs. You heard it here first. You could pull this podcast next June. Like I said, if we're healthy, we're winning. Patrick Beverly brings a new force on that defense, and I think it changes our attitude. Honestly, I feel like last year we were just playing so there was no defensive like identity last year, and having LeBron, like we had Carmelo, it was just hard. Like Carmelo can't guard anything, but he can shoot, but he can't guard. And then there was so many rotations that were going on, and I think we have some healthy players now. And honestly, I'm very excited. Russell Westbrook seems to have found like a piece with everything that happened last year, and he's just ready to prove himself. And there's no better chance than to just have a second chance. And he didn't get traded, so this is just a year for him to go crazy. And honestly, he hasn't played a basketball game in like 6 months, so I'm expecting healthiness from AD. So hopefully, if AD and them can stay healthy, you heard it here first. We're winning the championship.
Go
I
ahead,
would
Josh.
like to go ahead and say I'm against that. I don't think that they added enough to make a huge difference. Like if Patrick Beverly is the only name that you're giving me, I'm not saying that the Lakers of last year are now championship contenders. Who else did y'all add? I haven't necessarily seen their whole roster. I did try to look it up because I was interested to see who they had, but the only big one that I saw was Patrick Beverly, and he's another one of those, in my opinion, that's more famous for being a basketball player than like being good at basketball. You know?
I'm actually for it. The biggest question was Russ. Like, not even about the
Mm-hmm.
people they added, is about Russell Westbrook. And I think that he's found a place. It looks like he's willing. He's very willing. And that's just giving LeBron and AD. If when it comes down to scores, that's who you want to be scoring the ball. And you just want Westbrook to just be Westbrook. Like, that's all you need.
So let me ask that: how deep are we talking? It works.
Like playoffs for sure. Playoffs for sure. Let's start with that.
Playoffs
Can
for
we start
sure,
with
but
that?
you're probably going to be a first round exit.
It's a very small team, but it's a very defensive minded team. And that's what, Devin Ham is all about, man. Is that defense. Once we get the defense rolling, I think it'll help a lot because we were giving up so many points last year. And it was like, bro, we were giving up like 35 in the first quarter almost, like every single game. And we found ourselves down. So honestly, I think we'll be straight. Like offense will come. I mean, you're going to miss shots, but if you can at least play defense, like I think it definitely helps bring intensity.
For the last point, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out two teams from the East and the West for you guys. Who you think is gonna be the better defensive team? So I'm gonna start with Josh. We're gonna go with the East. Who do you think is gonna be a better defensive team? Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks?
Milwaukee, because of freaking Giannis Antetokounmpo. Plus, you have
Jrue Holiday.
Jrue Holiday. Yes, who in my mind could have easily won Defensive Player of the Year. If you're giving it to somebody like Marcus Smart, that's pretty much Marcus Smart. You know what I'm saying? So if you have both of them, that's an incredible team. And if you're talking about defensive identity, like they got that down pat. Yes, I do think we played great defense last year. We be in Boston, and we did have, we have Marcus Smart, the Defensive Player of the Year. We have our defensive identity figured out. You know what I mean? I think everybody plays intense, hard defense. You have a cheat code on the Bucks, bro. Like that's almost not fair.
I think I'm gonna go with the Celtics, only because I feel like they have better like small guards that can guard.
Mm-hmm.
They also just added
Brogdon, baby.
Brogdon, yeah.
Yes, and they just added him too, and they already had like a great small defense lineup last year, and this just makes them even better. But it is hard because obviously like Giannis and Jrue Holiday, like both of them could compete for Defensive Player of the Year like every single year.
I may have to even say I might have to throw that to Boston. I'm not gonna lie, Boston surprised me. I didn't realize how good they were until this last playoffs, and I was like, noted. So I would have to throw that to Boston. I'm gonna start this off with Pero. Who do you think is gonna be the better defensive team this season? Laker Nation or y'all neighbors, the Los Angeles Clippers?
The obvious answer you're thinking of is Clippers, but the same reason. I mean, the Clippers haven't been healthy in a while. And I think the only thing that like holds the Lakers from making it like the Lakers being a better defense is like LeBron James, because he's gonna be on the floor a lot, but he's old. Like you can't expect LeBron to be switching on everybody and like taking on the best player on the team or things like that. So that kind of gives them a little bit of a less an edge on the defense. But we haven't seen the Clippers play fully healthy, just like the Lakers, in a long time. And I think it's like, how do we know that, that Kawhi Leonard is still the great defensive player that he was before, or he can move laterally as quickly like he could before? So it's hard. And I think the addition of Patrick Beverly, Dennis Smith Jr., and Lonnie Walker, and Stanley Johnson, I think it gives us a better edge. So I'm going Lakers, baby. And AD in the paint. Come on, man.
He might have convinced me just then, but you brought up the injuries, and that made me kind of change my mind. I think they might be just as injured or injury prone on both sides. Yeah. LA hospitals, man, they're gonna be full.
So I'm excited to see the games in LA now, because I'm like, the matchups are pretty matched up. Out of 4 games at the regular season to see, because it may go anywhere, and hopefully each game that they will be healthy. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. But yep, that is a wrap for the Off Topic episode 3. I just want to just give you guys an update as well. The fantasy league's about to get started up soon, so I'll give you guys an update on that. Josh, Pero, thank you guys, my brothers, for being here.
Of course.
And showing some love. Appreciate it. And also,
Thanks for having me.
this is my guy Josh. So y'all follow him. Check out his fitness page. My boy
Yes, sir.
Para, he be living. He might start streaming soon, so just be prepared.
And he's got that photography page that he hasn't touched.
Yeah, man, retired.
Instagrams are down below. Instagrams are by their names. So, you know what I'm saying? Follow, shout out. You already know what it is. Sports One, we out. Off Topic, we out.
Thank you very much, sir.
Peace.